In this BDRSuite demo, I'll guide you through configuring backups for your Azure VMs using Azure Snapshot Backup with a backup copy to another location and restoring your data when needed. BDRSuite offers agentless backups for Azure virtual machines with customizable backup policies and flexible restore options, allowing backups to be stored locally or on your preferred cloud storage. To get started, visit the BDRSuite website and click Start Free Trial. Download and install BDRSuite on Windows or Linux machines, or run it as a Docker container. For a step-by-step video on installing the BDRSuite backup server, check the link in the description. Be sure to fill out the form provided for technical assistance. Once the installation is complete, open the backup server's web-based console in your browser, enter your username and password, and click Sign In. You can now experience BDRSuite's full-featured 30-day free trial in your environment. As a first step, configure the backup repository to store your backup data. You can do this from the Infrastructure Backup Repository menu. You can use either on-premise or remote storage options such as DAS, NAS, or SAN. Alternatively, you can use your own public cloud storage, including Amazon S3, Azure Blob, Google Cloud, and S3-compatible services like Wasabi, MinIO, and Backblaze. Now let's add the Azure account as data source for backup. Navigate to the Cloud Workloads tab, Data Sources menu, and click Azure Account. Click to add New Azure Account. To add your Azure account, you will need your tenant ID, application ID, and application password. Additionally, you need to create a role for the subscriptions you plan to use for backup and recovery, and add a role assignment. You can generate these details by following the prerequisites on the right pane. For a detailed video on how to enable these prerequisites, check the description. Once you've completed the prerequisites, you will have the required details. Enter your Azure account information such as name, tenant ID, application ID, and application password, and click Save. Your Azure account is now successfully listed on BDRSuite as a data source for backup. You can now configure backup for your Azure virtual machines. Navigate to Backup, configure Backup, and choose Azure. Specify the backup job name. Then, choose your backup option. The Azure Snapshot Backup creates automated snapshots and retains them in your Azure account. A step-by-step video for setting up Azure Snapshot Backup is available in the description. In this video, I'll show you the other option, the Azure Snapshot with a backup copy to another location. This option creates the snapshot in your Azure account and also copies your VM data to your preferred storage, such as local, remote storage, or your own public cloud. Next, choose the backup repository to store this copy. Once the basic details are entered, click Next to proceed. Select the Azure account, subscription, and resource group. Then click the List VMs button. To list all the virtual machines, you can select the VMs you want to backup. For the selected VMs, you can enable application-aware processing to ensure transaction-consistent backups of your Microsoft applications. Additionally, you can enable pre-post scripts to run scripts before and after the backup job. BDRSuite offers flexible backup scheduling options. Select the backup frequency for incremental backups. For this demo, I've configured daily backups at 9 p.m. Only the initial backup is full. After that, it's forever incremental backups. I've also chosen the default values for the advanced backup settings. Once done, click on Next to proceed. Now, select how many snapshots you'd like to retain in your Azure account. For example, setting a retention limit of 5 will delete the oldest snapshot when a new one is taken, keeping only the latest 5. Next, you can set the retention for the VM backup data stored in local or cloud storage. If you disable retention, all restore points will be kept indefinitely. You can also enable retention and customize the policies such as the number of days or versions you want to retain, as per your storage and compliance requirements. Once done, click Next to proceed. Finally, review your backup job configuration. If you want to run the backup job immediately after configuration, you can check the box and click Save. Click Schedule Now. On the confirmation dialog, you will be redirected to List of Jobs page. Click on the Progress icon to view the backup progress. Once the backup is completed, You can edit, check status, view reports, and manage your backup jobs from here. Click the report icon to view the backup reports. You can choose to restore an Azure VM and its disks or volumes in two ways. First, at the backup job level, where all Azure jobs are listed. Here, you can select the job containing the backed up VM from the recovery menu under Restore Backup Data. Alternatively, you can restore VMs at the account level. This option lists all VMs backed up under a specific Azure account, accessible from the recovery menu under VM Level Recovery, and then Azure. In this video, I will restore VM from its backup job. Navigate to the recovery menu and click on Restore Backup Data. Click the Restore button next to the backup job. First, select the Azure VM you'd like to restore. Next, choose the restore type that fits your needs. Now, let's take a closer look at each of the restore options, one by one. Now let's take a look at how to perform VM recovery from an Azure Snapshot. First, select the Azure VM you want to restore. Then, choose the VM Recovery from Azure Snapshot option. This allows you to restore the entire virtual machine to a previous state within the same region. You can restore it to either the same or a different subscription and resource group, giving you flexibility in your recovery process. Select the restore point you want to recover the backup data from, then click Next to proceed. Next, choose the restore options such as subscription. You'll see all the subscriptions linked to your Azure account. Once you've selected a subscription, the available resource groups will be listed for you to choose from. Please note that the backed up VMs can only be restored to the same region. For the virtual network, you have two choices: use an existing VNet or create a new one. In this video, I've selected the existing VNet option. You'll need to pick from the available virtual networks and choose the corresponding subnets. If you decide to create a new VNet, BDRSuite will automatically create and assign it. Give your restored VM a name that suits your needs and select your preferred power-on option. Next, choose the volumes you want to attach from the backed-up VM. You can modify the capacity and storage type if required. Please note that all disks will be restored as managed disks. Review all the recovery configurations, and then click Restore. Click OK Proceed to start the restore process. You'll be redirected to the Restore Backup Data page, where you can see the restore progress. Once the recovery is completed, you can find the restored VM in your Azure account, under the selected subscription and resource group. Now, click on the report icon to view the recovery report page, and click on the log icon to view the restore logs. Now, let's look into disk recovery from an Azure Snapshot. First, select the Azure VM you want to restore. Then, choose the VM Recovery from Azure Snapshot option. This allows you to restore the entire virtual machine to a previous state within the same region, with the flexibility to restore it to either the same or a different subscription and resource group. Select the restore point you want to recover the backup data from, then click Next to proceed. Next, choose the restore options such as subscription. You'll see all the subscriptions linked to your Azure account. Once you've selected a subscription, the available resource groups will be listed for you to choose from. Please note that the backed up VMs can only be restored to the same region. Next, choose the disks or volumes you want to restore. You can modify the capacity and storage type if required. Please note that all disks will be restored as managed disks. Finally, review the recovery configuration and click Restore. Click on OK Proceed to initiate the restore. You'll be redirected to the Restore Backup Data page, where you can view the restore progress. Once the restoration is completed, you can find the restored disk in the Azure account under the selected subscription and resource group. Now, click on the report icon to view the recovery report, and click on the log icon to view the restore logs. Now, let's look at disk mount recovery. Select the Azure VM. The disk mount option mounts the backed up VM's disk to the BDRSuite Backup Server's disk management service using the BDRSuite virtual drive. This allows you to access backed up disks and volumes instantly without restoring the entire backup. Select the restore point you want to recover the backup data from, then click Next to proceed. First, select the disk you want to mount in BDRSuite Virtual Drive. Once it's mounted, you can use the Windows Disk Management service to easily browse through the disk and access your files. Finally, review the recovery configuration and click Restore. Click OK Proceed to start the restore process. You'll be redirected to the Restore Backup data page. Click on the progress icon to view the status of the restore process. Once the recovery is complete, the Vembu virtual drive will be mounted on the machine where the BDRSuite backup server is installed, allowing you to access your backed up data instantly. Navigate to Recovery, manage BDRSuite virtual drive. You can enable NFS sharing to access the virtual drive remotely. To unmount the virtual drive, click the Unmount button. Now, navigate to Reports, Data Recovery, and click on Disk Mount to view the restoration report. Now let's look at Download Disk Recovery. Select the Azure VM. You can download backup disks in various formats like VHD, VHDX, VMDK, Flat VMDK, and RAW. This flexibility allows seamless restoration of Azure to different environments. Example: you can download disk in Flat VMDK and migrate the Azure VM as an on-premise VMware as well. Choose the restore point from which you wish to recover the data and click Next to proceed. Next, choose the host you wish to restore and select the target location by clicking on the folder icon. Choose the target location to download your backed up VM or disk data. You can select either a local drive or any network shared drive mapped to the BDRSuite backup server. Choose one of the virtual file formats to download your backup. In this video, I've chosen to download the virtual disk in the VHD format. Finally, review the recovery configuration and click Restore. Click on OK Proceed to initiate the restore. Click on the progress icon to view the status of the restore process. Navigate to Reports, Data Recovery, Download Disk to check the restore report, and navigate to the designated location to find the downloaded disk. Now, let's look at VM Recovery from Backup Repository. The VM Recovery from Backup Repository option allows you to recover the entire VM from the backup data stored in the repository. For a step-by-step video on how to perform VM recovery from the backup repository, check out the link in the description. Now let's look at the file-level recovery. Select the Azure VM you want to restore. File-level recovery allows you to recover specific files or folders from your Windows host granularly. Select the restore point you want to recover the backup data from, then click Next to proceed. Let's expand the tree to select the specific files or folders you wish to restore. You have the option to restore these items to the backup server. Once done, click on the folder icon to expand the tree structure and select the restore location. Choose your preferred settings for compression and encryption and click Next. Finally, review the recovery configuration and click Restore. Click on OK, Proceed to initiate the restore. Now you'll be redirected to the Restore Backup data page. Click on the progress icon to view the status of the restore process. Navigate to Report Data Recovery, File Level Recovery to check the restore report, and navigate to the designated location to find the restored files and folders. Now, it's your time to try it out. Visit our website to start your 30-day free trial. And if you need any assistance, contact BDRSuite support. Thanks for watching.